Welcome to the Taylorville Hometown Tour on WTIM, your information station. I'm Avery Cooper, and you're here with Mayor Bruce Berry in the studio. Welcome to the program, Mayor Berry.
Thanks for having me.
It's great to have you here. Now, you have so much going on in Taylorville, so many grants, so many projects. How about a quick update on this grant that you're applying for,
We have
rebuild?
to turn in our application by January 10th. We're applying for a $3 million grant through the Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity to improve and rehab our downtown area. So I've been working with not only our city engineers, our aldermen, the downtown Taylorville people, Steve Craigs and Diane Skinner have been wonderful to work with. And we're working up a plan which is going to include not only the square, but the courthouse property. So we've been in contact with Matt Wells at the county board, and hopefully we can get this grant approved and rehab and revitalize our downtown area.
Any projects going on at the moment that you want people to be aware of?
As everyone knows, we did finally get approved for the East Main Cross, so that work will start as soon as the weather. We have a preliminary meeting in a couple weeks, and hopefully we can get started on the East Main project around the 1st of March. That was sort of an odd thing. We had about three days to apply for this grant. We received word that we received it, and that was on the fast track grant, and that was a year and a half ago in May. And so, like I said, it takes a while for the state government to approve everything, but we finally have jumped all the hurdles, and we're ready to get started on East Main.
What will be done on East Main?
We're going to put all new curbs, gutters, sidewalks, road repavement, all the way from Cherokee to the square. And then that will hopefully we get the grant to revitalize the square. And then our next project is going to be West Main from Webster Street through Cheney and on to Houston Street. So we're going to try to revitalize the main streets in Taylorville. And I think the constituents will really like that if we can get this money.
And then with the downtown grant, want to revitalize the downtown area. What does that look like?
Well, it's going to be a total of a $4.5 million project. We're asking for $3 million from the state, and we'll put $1.5 million in of our city money, basically through our business development district tax. And I think people will really enjoy if we can get our downtown area revitalized.
You also, in the last couple of months or so, found some land for a skateboard park.
Right. The park board stepped up and then gave us the opportunity. I'm a member of our skateboard committee, and the city's not going to put any money into it, neither is the park board, but we think we can raise the funds for a skateboard facility. I'm working with Evan Mitchell and Eric Bruder, and we're looking at some different skateboard opportunities. So hopefully we can get that in the next month or so and get it going and get that built this spring or the early summer.
Where did the park district agree to place it, assuming that the city can come up with the funding?
Well, out there at the Don Bragg facility, it'd be, I think, west and maybe north of the football field out there. They gave us both opportunities there. So we're drawing up some plans now, or at least Evan Mitchell is. And I think it's a much needed facility. The city really didn't have a place to put it. We talked about putting it a few other places and caught resistance for all those. So I think if we can raise the money, we'll have us a skateboard facility.
Last time you talked to me about the skateboard park, you said you had roughly about 50% of the funding committed.
Well, it depends on how big the thing's going to be. I've heard anywhere from 150 to 300,000. I think we probably can raise. I think already I've got pledges of 50 to 75,000. And I know our skateboard committee will start a fundraising project hopefully soon, and we can start getting money and see how big that we can afford to build.
In your fire protection district, there's a major retirement happening.
Right. Dave Oldham retired. He's been president of our Taylorville Fire Protection District and did just a wonderful job. For 2 years she's been the president, and the fire protection district has been able to buy our fire department three different vehicles: a ladder truck, a rescue squad truck, and now they're planning on financing a new pumper truck or tanker truck. So just my hats off to Dave Oldham. What a great job he's did in helping the city plus the Taylorville Fire Protection District.
What do you believe his legacy leaves on Taylorville?
Well, I think he was a longtime fireman, and he worked for a fire department selling vehicles and things. He's got a wealth of knowledge, and just just we needed somebody like that to come in and help our fire protection district. Him and our chief Matt Aderman work hand in hand on designing these things, and our fire department gets involved in it too. I know Dave's went to them. What do you ask for? What do you need? What do you have to have? What do you think is a necessity, and what is a waste? So we spec'd it out great, and like I said, just my hats off to the fire protection district. Not only Dave Oldham, but Dave Wagner and Ron Verardi have done a great job. Ron's been on the fire protection district since its inception, I think in 1988 or 89. So he's just been a wealth of information also.
You just mentioned that the third fire tank, I'm sorry,
Right, the
fire
tanker
truck.
yeah,
You
yeah.
guys just purchased that,
Well,
or you're working
they're
on
ordering
purchasing
it now,
Yeah.
and they secured the financing, and the reason this project was a little hurried up a little bit. The price of the truck was supposed to go upwards to 25% if we didn't order it by February 1st. So we've worked diligently the last 2 weeks in getting everything in place for that.
And how long have you guys been needing a new truck for, or is this
Well,
just kind of something that you're adding on to?
Well, we do need one. Our other truck's 20 years old, and like anything else with technology and stuff, it just was a truck that needed to be replaced. And if it wasn't for such a price increase coming in a month, we would have probably waited a year or two. But they decided to go ahead and finance it. So hopefully it'll work out.
Yeah. So many great things happening in Taylorville right now. Is there anything else that you'd like the folks to know
Well,
about?
I'd just like to welcome Scooters Coffee there at the Northwest Corridor. We were talking to some people in the last week or two about a possible brewery coming to Taylorville. And just like I said, there's a lot of things in the works. Hopefully, we can get some type of residential development. Our industrial park seems to be advertising quite a bit for people to come there. And like I said, I'm very optimistic on the future of Taylorville, especially in our Northwest Corridor.
Looks like there's a grand opening occurring for Scooters Coffee coming up next week. Trying to get the exact date. I'll try and circle around back to it here in just a moment. But Mayor Barry is, gosh, it's great to have you here for the hometown tour. And I just really want to thank you for making time out of your day to
Well, I
come.
just like to invite everybody to come and visit our downtown area and our shopping areas. Our restaurants are thriving on the square, it looks like, and just invite anyone. And if anybody feels like it, stop up and see me in my office, and I can take you on a little tour.
Friday, January 14th, Scooters Coffee holds its grand opening in Taylorville. That's at the intersection of Illinois routes 29 and 104. Will you be there, Mayor Barry?
I will be there.
Nice. All right. So you can see Mayor Barry there, and of course, all around the area, maybe at basketball games of COVID willing, of course.
That's exactly right. I did go to the junior high volleyball game last night. And it's great to see our young athletes performing, and they did a great job.
All right. Thank you, Mayor Barry, for coming on.
Thank you, Avery.
Back with more on the Taylorville hometown tour after this, right here on WTIM, your more information station.
package. It all starts with an email to sales@randyradio.com. That's sales@randyradio.com. We're an equal opportunity employer.
Thank you for listening to this Miller Media Group radio station. We appreciate you making the choice to tune in to us. We want to remind you of some things to keep the attorneys happy. Our stations allow one winner per household in a 30-day period. Cash prizes are mailed to our winners within 30 days of winning. And as you've probably already guessed, portions of today's programming on this Miller Media Group radio station were pre-recorded and are mechanically or digitally reproduced. There. Now we've made the attorneys happy. Thanks again for listening to this Miller Media Group station.
This is Jerry Lowry with Window Genie in Taylorville. To learn more about our services, click on our icon on TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
This is Megan Lopez with Nesty's Burger Joint on the south side of the Taylorville Square. To see our menu, click on our icon on TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Welcome back to the Taylorville Hometown Tours here on WTIM, your information station. I'm Avery Cooper here with Taylorville Superintendent, or Taylorville School District Superintendent, Dr. Chris Doherty. Welcome back, and it's great to have you here. What do it's 2022, right? And I'm sure you're happy to see 2021 behind you. What did that year look like for Taylorville School District?
Well, good morning, Avery. It's wonderful to be here this morning. And 2021, good riddance. We've done everything possible to make a school year work in 2021. We're so excited to be having 2022 with hope for the future and having 2021 behind us. But before we say goodbye, I think we need to celebrate our year in review and kind of look at 2022 highlights.
I agree. I mean, you had just recently, I really enjoyed watching, or I didn't actually go to the magical dinners, but having the magical singers coming in to the studio live, it was a great time. I believe you had something to do with that, Dr. Doherty. Thank you for that. You had you've been able to put sports back on the schedule. So many great things that the school district has been able to do.
Oh, Avery, our music and theater department and our magical dinners is just magical. They transformed the high school into a medieval castle and had a feast. And they had the best entertainment. And the tornado that evening sadly landed somewhere else, but we had a terrible storm come through. We were still able to have a beautiful production, and we did have sunshine the next morning. So again, another sign of hope for the community.
I totally forgot that the tornado that ravaged Western Kentucky happened that same day.
It did.
Yeah.
It happened that same day. So we
Anyway.
gathered as a community, and we sent a truckload of toys that was put together by our sports program by Mr. Jeb Odom, because very recently our community suffered a tornado. So we were empathetic and understood what that looks like. But we also understand the strong in the comeback. And that's the reason that we sent a truckload of toys that next sunny week afterwards.
And it's a great, that you guys donated everything from toys to toiletries to what else did you guys end up donating?
Just basically, it was a community effort to support, and there was a variety of response. It was a gesture that just melts your heart. But that's what Taylorville's about, and we've been there, so we understand it. And that message of hope that we sent, I think that's really the theme for 2022.
Your students were awfully successful as well.
Our students were successful, and they still are. So just to highlight, we had more scholarships ever awarded to our graduates in 2021. We had over $2 million, and those were kids we're sending to college and university, and very excited for their success.
That's amazing. Teachers too. I know that they are a very talented group of individuals. What can you say about them?
Our teachers are the best I've ever worked with. For instance, we've got our building trades program that has doubled, and we finished a building trades home This year we sold it. We have the construction underway for the next building trades home. Our students, because of our staff, earned the blue ribbon for National School Improvement. That took us to Washington, D.C., and our students are all thinking and reading more.
That's great. And, something I really enjoy because, well, I have a vested interest in it, but Tommy TV, you guys have been able to expand it. And, well, Tommy TV, maybe in part because of it, has picked up a little bit of recognition as well.
Oh,
what an amazing program, by the way, I must say, Dr. Doherty. I would have been, I'm trying to think of the right term. I would have been very excited to have Tommy TV at my high school when I was growing up.
Well, and Tommy TV studio is in the district office wing. So I'm very acquainted with the workers and the staff in that program and all the kids. We spent a lot of time together because, as you know, when you're in production, you're working late and early and often, and our schedules just kind of mix up together. So I'm super proud of them. But that's just one example of our teacher success where we added lots of technology. We've got one-to-one programs. We've got STEM. We've got our Tommy. We are digitally sending messages in and out of all classrooms. We have panels, which is pretty amazing. We've expanded learning for all students. Our teachers are on the same page. They're on teams either in their department or grade level. They're organized and they have a voice and help plan. And we also have a social emotional learning platform that's put into place with staff and tools. All of us can benefit from social emotional development. We've recognized that. We got ahead of the curve. The rest of the nation is now jumping on that bandwagon, but it's just a pretty important piece for our students. And then you talked a little bit about our student voice through Tommy TV.
Yeah. You guys have a great student voice.
Our student voice, we have state championships for our yearbook and journalism program. We have state championship for our Tommy TV program. We've expanded Tommy TV. As you know, it started as a club, then a class. Now it's a career strand. And we've got a wait list even after that for kids to get in. Wow. It's a great place to develop. And when you go in and you work with the kids in Tommy TV, like they may or may not go into broadcasting. That's not even the piece of it, but it teaches leadership skills and communication skills and organization, the self-esteem growth I've seen. Students are confident, and we are developing confident learners who are definitely making an impact on the world. I'm super proud of them.
I just wanted to add, I think with Tommy TV, even if they don't use that for broadcasting, you can take those skills and apply them to just about any field.
Absolutely.
In my opinion.
That's really what the kids are seeing. We also have a very active student council. Right now, the student council is field testing some foods for the cafeteria and also different plates. So they're researching what the best color is. We found out that purple is not the best color to eat off of, that it kind of decreases your appetite.
Interesting.
I know, because we thought, well, we're purple and gold. So we picked all the colors and did the brain research on it. And so white seems to be the best color for a dinner plate.
Interesting. White increases your appetite.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah. So we only have about 30 seconds left, Dr. Doherty. Is there anything else that you'd like to highlight?
Well, just basically, we've really gone after grants, received millions of dollars. We've refinanced existing debt to save millions of dollars, bonded historically low. Our reserves are in good order. Our vendor contracts have been redone, and we are positioned financially to do a building project.
Salute to Taylorville School District in 2021. Off to a great start in 2022. Thank you, Dr. Doherty.
Thank you. Happy New Year.
You're listening to the Taylorville Hometown Tours on WTIM.
With SRN News, I'm Greg Clugston in Washington. Marking the one-year anniversary of the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol, President Biden is condemning former President Trump for creating and spreading lies about the 2020 election results. Speaking at the Capitol in Statuary Hall earlier today, Mr. Biden said democracy was attacked a year ago, but the people prevailed. Jobless claims were up last week by 7,000. Meanwhile, November's trade deficit rose to a near record high of $80.2 billion. No school again today for students in the Chicago public schools. Classes were canceled for a day in a dispute between teachers and the district over COVID-19 safety protocols. Wall Street trading after 1 hour. The Dow is down 110 points, while the NASDAQ also lower, but only down by 20. This is SRN News.
Your pets have the same energy they used to? Do they have problems with itching, scratching, a dull coat, or goopy ears? Then your pets need Dinovite.
DINOVITE.com.
For over 20 years, pet owners have trusted Dinovite to supplement their pet's diet.
We started Dinovite, and in our first box, we noticed a difference.
Dinovite is an all-natural daily supplement made from whole foods that help support your pet's immune system, digestion, skin, and coat.
Within 3 weeks, he's not scratching and itching, and he's an all-around happier dog.
Today's commercial pet foods are processed at high temperatures, which bakes out all the essential goodness. These processed foods can lack the essential vitamins, enzymes, and probiotics that contribute to overall good health. Adding a scoop of Dinovite to your pet's food bowl is the answer.
If you love your pets as much as I do, you'll want to do what's best for them to live long, healthy, happy lives.
I have 2 cats and 2 dogs. All 4 of them are on the Dinovite.
You won't believe how happy your dog will be.
DINOVITE.com.
From Regional Radio, TaylorvilleDailyNews.com, and the WTIM app. This is local information making a difference.
I'm Avery Cooper reporting. Illinois is ahead of schedule when it comes to a loan they took out in 2020 to cover COVID-19 expenses. State Comptroller Susana A. Mendoza announced Wednesday that the final $302 million payment of a $2 billion loan is paid off. It's estimated that the early payback of the loan will save Illinois taxpayers $82 million in interest. Comptroller Mendoza says it's remarkable that the loan was paid off early.
And not only have we paid off that debt, but we paid it off 2 years early, which is remarkable, and that will save taxpayers about $82 million in interest payment.
Mendoza says it's nice to show fiscal discipline.
Nobody should like to see interest payments accruing, which is essentially like setting taxpayer dollars on fire. And any chance I get to save taxpayer dollars, I'm going to try to do that. So this is an opportunity for us to show fiscal discipline.
Before the start of the fiscal year, the comptroller was able to pay half the loan using regular state revenues. The loan was scheduled to be repaid in 3 installments by December of 2023. Comptroller Mendoza says she used effective cash management strategies to put the state in a position to pay off the debt in its entirety early. The state took the loan out originally in order to cover state medical bills during the pandemic. The state is caught up on its Medicaid payments with no additional borrowing expected in the state's plans. The total backlog of bills is down to $3.8 billion, and the state is paying. A quick programming note for those on the stream. The Taylorville Hometown Tour will continue in about, give it about 5 minutes or so. Thank you for your patience. For some time, but it's only been recently made available for nonprofit organizations with an operating budget of less than $1 million.
Yeah, Charitable Trust is a grant-making program we operate in our office. We give out money for smaller nonprofits with operating budgets of less than $1 million a year who do work in helping people with food assistance, with housing assistance, or workforce and economic development. So we encourage smaller nonprofits that might be listening to go to our website at illinoistreasurer.gov and apply for a grant up to $25,000 to help deliver needed services to people in your community.
Nonprofits with a budget of less than $1 million per year can visit the Treasurer's Office website to apply for what are called charitable trust grants through the Office of the Illinois State Treasurer. Details on these and other stories when you subscribe to the free weekly e-newsletter. Sign up at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Local information that makes a difference. Here's your regional weather.
Partly to mostly cloudy, but very chilly and breezy. A high of 14 degrees. Gusts up to 21 miles an hour, creating wind chill values between -5 and 0. Those low values with the wind chill decreasing to -6 to -13 overnight with a low of 3 degrees, just regular, without the wind. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, a high of 18 degrees. Looking ahead to Saturday, a chance of freezing rain and then more rain over Saturday night. Across central Illinois right now, 12 degrees underneath partly cloudy skies, 62% humidity, wind speed coming from the northwest at 15 miles an hour, creating a -4 degree wind chill. Barometer 30.2 inches, dew point 1 degree, visibility 10 miles. Weather anytime, 217-824-6101 or TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Professor at Sports, I'm Patrick Frost. The NFL says they've looked into other potential sites for next month's Super Bowl if playing in Los Angeles is impossible due to COVID spikes. AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas, the home of the Dallas Cowboys, reportedly is one of the facilities being considered. Aaron Rodgers had strong words for the MVP voter who said this week that he would not cast his vote for the Green Bay Packers quarterback because he's, quote, the biggest jerk in the league and a bad guy.
He doesn't know anything about me. I mean, I've never met him. I've never had lunch with him. I've never had an interview with him. His problem is I'm not vaccinated. So if he wants to go on a crusade, come up with an extra letter to put on the award just for this season, make it the most valuable vaccinated player, then he should do that. But he's a bum.
9-time Australian Open champion Novak Djokovic has been denied entry to Australia for the upcoming tournament. Djokovic is famously skeptical about the COVID vaccine and received a medical exemption from being vaccinated. This is SRN Sports. Top 25 hoops saw number 10 Michigan State improve to 13-2 with a 79-67 win over Nebraska. Spartan senior Marcus Bingham, second on the team in scoring, had just 4 points. Veteran coach Tom Izzo said he sat Bingham most of the game due to his attitude.
If a guy doesn't play with any energy, he's probably not going to play. It's a shame because Marcus has been real good. It's all part of this new era where I'll do what I want when I want, and maybe they will, just not going to be here.
11th ranked Iowa State is 13-1 after beating number 25 Texas Tech 51-47. In the NBA, Dallas beat Golden State 99-82. It was Brooklyn 129, Indiana 121, Charlotte 140, Detroit 111, Philadelphia 116, Orlando 106, Houston 114, Washington 111, San Antonio 99, Boston 97, Minnesota 98, Oklahoma City 90, Toronto 117, Milwaukee 111, Utah 115, Denver 109, Atlanta 108, Sacramento 102, and Miami 115, Portland 109. With SRN Sports, I'm Patrick Fox.
I'm Avery Cooper with your morning sports report. COVID-19 causing cancellations to Taylorville's basketball schedule. Taylorville's shootout game against Jerseyville Saturday, January 8th is canceled and will not be made up. Girls basketball is quarantined until Thursday the 13th, canceling 2 non-conference games and postponing a third. This one, a conference matchup against Effingham. Central A&M boys basketball still on for Friday at Meridian. You can find coverage for the Raiders as they look to beat the Green Wave Friday at 7:15 with tip-off at 7:30 on Genuine Country 94.3 WMKR for Central A&M boys basketball. And I'm Avery Cooper. This is your morning sports report.
I'm Sarah Van Huss, Assistant Vice President at People's Bank and Trust in Pana and Taylorville. People's Bank and Trust is proud of their longtime sponsorship of Taylorville High School Students of the Month on the many News Talk WTIM platforms on AM, FM, and online.
My name is Zane Anthony. I'm the Junior Student of the Month for Taylorville High School. My mother's name is Erin Piscini, and I enjoy playing basketball, football, and welding. My interests and hobbies are hanging out with my girlfriend, family, and friends, and playing NBA 2K22. My future plans are to be a welder and move up in the workforce.
People's Bank and Trust congratulates these Taylorville High School Students of the Month and wishes them the best in their continued education. We put people first at People's Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
The Miller Media Group is looking for someone who's local in sales and wants to advance their career. We have an immediate opening for an account executive who understands the importance of small businesses to our local economy. Just bring your sales expertise to us and we'll train you with above average pay along the way. Prove yourself to us and you could be promoted to sales manager for our radio group with a great compensation package. It all starts with an email to sales@randyradio.com. That's sales@randyradio.com. We're an equal opportunity employer.
Welcome back to the Taylorville Hometown Tours. I'm Avery Cooper. You're here with Taylorville School District Superintendent Dr. Chris Doherty on WTIM, your information station. Dr. Doherty, I'm going to let you go ahead and break some news. You guys have been participating in some projects to improve Taylorville School District, and, well, you have a big announcement.
We do. We're so excited. And we talked a little bit about our finances, and we do have things in good order just from hitting the market at the right time with low rates and refinancing debt and restructuring things. It's almost like you would refinance your mortgage and just save money. So we've lowered the costs, and then we really went after grants. So money's in good shape. And our buildings, we've put a lot of work into upgrading and doing our heating and air conditioning exchange units. All of our buildings now exchange healthy air 100%. So in the pandemic, that's extremely important to us. And then the climate's important so that kids and teachers can concentrate. And then we added picnic areas at all of our schools. There's fresh air meals, which doesn't sound too appealing on a day like today with 17 degrees. But we certainly have used that a lot. And we also use it for outdoor learning spaces. We're going to add a little bit of sunshade, and we started to do that in different schools too. And then we've repaired, or at least scheduled to repair, depending on where it is on the list, our roofs, our tuck pointing, and then again, all of our HVAC. And we have a 10-year health, life, safety plan in place and have addressed most of the issues on it. So that leaves us in good shape. Then we ran financial projections for the next 7 years just to make sure that we had things safe so we could operate and afford to step forward and plan and build our fine arts / sports arena. It's perhaps we need a name for it, but I don't know if we're going to call it the Tornado Center. I'm not sure what we're going to, at some point we need a name for it. Right now we're in the planning phase. We started to make sure we had our financial ducks in a row. Now we're looking at facilities and exactly what the best location is. We got different ideas on the table. And the next step, which is pretty exciting, we're going to talk to architects and then construction companies.
Wow. I wish I were better at coming up with things on the spot, because I was thinking like tornado arena or gosh, what? I'm trying to think of a name.
Well,
what? I'll let you know when I come and think of one.
I want the community. Like, we're going to have some community involvement. We're going to have some strategic planning sessions where people come forth and they put their ideas down, and we're just going to brainstorm and gather the best needs and ideas. That's where that name's going to come from. And that's where basically all the features and all the key pieces of it are going to come from. All we're doing is the big planning on the dollars and the feasibility. The rest of the details, this is Taylorville's. This is our community's project, and it's a really big deal.
What's the timeline look like on that?
Well, we've got about a year to plan, and then we'll start in on the dirt turning and the digging and the construction. Perhaps if the planning phase goes quicker, we can roll out a little bit quicker.
And so obviously you want the community to be involved in this planning process. Are there any meetings coming up in the near future for them to be able to?
Yep. So our school district runs on committee meetings, and then we've got different people divvied up to focus. So our building committee is really getting active. Finance committee was super active this last year, and that's why we're in this position. So now it's the building committee's turn, and we've been meeting monthly, and it'll probably be more aggressive than that. And then once they're still at the feasibility piece conversation. Once we get into the strategic piece where we're asking for community input, we'll get that publicized and we'll get those sessions out. And we're pretty excited. Right now, we've been taking tours to different school communities, and we've been meeting with professionals, and we've been looking at the business end of it.
What have you found when you've taken those tours to other communities?
Well, the exciting thing was, a couple of years ago, we didn't think we would ever be in this position. We were happy to be able to restructure our money so that we could repair our buildings, because we have to have buildings that are in good shape. And then just being very, we kind of behave with money like grandmothers out of the Depression. My business manager and I, we're pretty, we really watch the money. And then we've been aggressive with grants. We've got a district team that's going after the grants and use them for key priorities. So that's really been the key. But we're just seeing the possibilities when we go to other communities. We're seeing the features. We want flexible space, and we really want to address as many student and community needs as possible.
I think one of the community needs that you, and especially student needs that you have already mentioned, you have a updated heating and cooling air exchange system, so it's healthier to help keep Taylorville schools in person. There's as I understand it, no plans of going remote again during this
No,
time.
we're going to do everything we can. We've got to keep our kids in school. It's so, so important. I know this morning I was up early with the bus company. We're short on bus drivers. So if anybody out there is a CDL and interested in picking up bus and helping sub there, we sure could use them. But we were going to have to double up a little bit on some bus routes. It's just the COVID. It's the COVID surge right now. I've got a few administrators out, a few teachers out, a few other staff members out, and then the rest of us are just covering bases. I'm covering for principal this week. It's pretty exciting. I love seeing the students and the parents and the teachers. So none of us mind it. It's just you're going to have to be a little bit more patient because we are going through a surge and it still is the pandemic. But we're going to get through this. We're going to roll up our sleeves and do it together. We're committed to that.
So bus routes will be a little bit different over the next week or so, is what I heard.
Yep. So this morning we sent out a message to the families that were affected, and we're going to have an alternate schedule. We're going to have to do a piggyback route a little bit. I think we're 3 drivers short. And then we've got 3 more that are coming in the next couple of days. So it should balance out. It's just a couple of tough weeks that we have to get through. There's always an option to drop kids off at school. We don't want to inconvenience families. We know about work schedules and difficulty. But we're going to do everything we can to keep people communicated and to serve the best we can.
Wow, it's just so many things going on with Taylorville School District. And so let's go ahead and slide. Is there anything else that you'd like to say before you go here, Dr. Doherty?
No, just, make sure kids have their hats and gloves. We are in winter season, hats, gloves, and boots. And if you got a little bit of a time factor that's shifting on your transportation for kids, make sure they're safe.
All right. Thank you so much for coming on the program,
Thank you.
Dr. Doherty. You're listening to the Taylorville Hometown Tours. I'm Avery Cooper. Back in a moment right here on WTIM, your information station.
Let's check the markets now on this Thursday on the RFD Radio Network. I'm Jim Taylor. Corn slightly lower, beans lower, and wheat double-digit lower at this hour. March corn $6 even, down 2 1/4. May corn down 2 1/4, and December 22 corn $5.52 down 2 3/4. January beans down 10 1/4, $13.74. March beans down a dime, $13.84 3/4. November beans $13.50 a penny, down 3 1/2. March wheat down 15 1/4, $7.45 1/2. May wheat down 15 1/2, $7.49 1/4. July wheat down 14 1/4, $7.46 3/4. January bean meal $4.21.20, that's down $2.90. January bean oil down 57 cents, $58.75. In the livestock market, February live cattle down 67 cents. January feeders $160.92, down $1.20. February lean hogs up $1.72, $84 even. Look at the markets on this Thursday. I'm Jim Taylor for the RFD Radio
Okay,
Network.
we are running a car drive right now to help veterans all across America. So if you have an old car, truck, or van, even a motorcycle or an RV sitting around, you can right now give it away and help the vets. They really need your help. And your car will help support the vets and their families. And guess what? You even get a tax donation. Plus, we'll even come and pick up your car for free. And all you've got to do is pick up your phone right now and make a free call. Now is the perfect time to do something good for the vets. Give back to the vets right now for all they've done for this country. And your old car can really help them. So call the Veterans Car Donation Program right now for free pickup of your vehicle. Help the vets and help your taxes at the same time. Call right now.
800-404-2750. 800-404-2750. 800-404-2750. That's 800-404-2750.
I'm Will Perkins, President and CEO of the Taylorville Community Credit Union. TCCU is proud to be the exclusive sponsor of the Miller Media Group Community Spotlight, allowing a different nonprofit organization to be highlighted on WTIM, WMKR, and WRAN each month.
My name is Chief Dwayne Wheeler, City of Taylorville. We received a grant for $105,000. It's called the Community Law Enforcement Partnership deflection program. We're very humbled about getting this grant. There was only 5 police departments in the state that received this grant. This grant is going to help Safe Passage. Number 2, it's going to educate our youth. Number 3, it's going to fight the war on drugs. So there's a lot of moving components in this grant that we have to do. If we are doing well, they can extend this grant for 2 more years.
This is Cammie Payne, General Manager of the Miller Media Group. We, along with TCCU, are proud to bring you the Community Spotlight each month.
TCCU is proud to be the exclusive sponsor of the Miller Media Group Community Spotlight. Come join us. You'll wonder why you waited. Member NCUA.
Welcome back to the Taylorville Hometown Tour. I'm Avery Cooper, and you're here with Taylorville Police Chief Dwayne Wheeler. Welcome to the program, Chief.
Thank you.
What a great 2021 Taylorville Police Department has had. What are some of the highlights that you would like to look back on?
Well, the main thing is our crime is down. It's down in all aspects, thefts, burglaries. We did see also our traffic accidents are down too. So traffic has been good also. But overall, 2021 has been a great year with our community policing program with the city of Taylorville. The citizens have been outstanding, helping us curb crime.
And there's so many different programs that you're doing right now to aid in that effort. Obviously, that is your number one goal, to curb crime and to make sure everybody's safe. What are some of the programs that you have really progressed in and developed over the past year that you feel is aiding that goal?
Well, we have a lot of programs, and it's really hard to keep up with them. Thank God I have a great team at the Taylorville Police Department, and we're all working together to make these programs work and be successful. We all know about the Safe Passage program. That speaks wonders. It speaks for itself. We received that grant for $105,000, so that's really helping us. Debbie and Denise Evans are doing a great job on that program. The amount of people that are coming in the doors are just unbelievable that are looking for help.
Do we have any figures on that? How many people has Safe Passage helped?
Yeah, we do have figures. I have to, we've been tracking figures.
Right.
We're since July 1st, 2019, we've helped over 400 people. Yeah. Last month alone, we were close to 14 that we helped. That actually we got them into treatment. And also this month, starting out, we've been really busy, especially the cold too. I think the wintertime people, some are homeless that need help, and we help them too.
Yeah, they come to you with, a choice pretty much. Be cold and use, or come to you and try and get help.
Right. They're suffering, and, we're here to help them. And a lot of them have mental issues too. And there's places that we go to that also address not just the substance abuse, also addresses their mental health. And that's a huge component with this program also. People just look at it and say it's all about drug use. It's not. There's mental issues there that we have to, look at too, that might be causing their drug use. So we have great treatment centers across the state that are helping us in that.
You've also worked on developing the community action team.
Yes, that's been a great success. We've definitely, I could see just driving around the calls, the emails, the Facebook messages we get. There's definitely a decrease in that. And that shows that, you could see our numbers are high on drug arrests. We're not playing around with the drug dealers. They're going to jail. Our community action team is just not Taylorville Police anymore. We were able to get Kincaid Police involved with it, Stonington, Edinburgh, Morrisonville, and Assumption. So with that being said, having all these resources together, and also for us to go help other agencies, help them in the war against drugs, gives us it's just such a great tool and resource that we do have.
What is the CAT in kind of a short summary?
Well, the community action team is when we get complaints about any type of illegal drug activity or anything else, we can go ahead and investigate. And before, we have a staffing, just around 23 officers right now, plus the admin. And it was tough sometimes getting a group together to go out and investigate a drug house, for example. Now with having this community action team, we could take other officers from different agencies that come over here to assist us in that problem. So instead of having 2 or 3 investigate a house, we could have 6 or 7.
And a little bit on that note, what is this ERT, the emergency response team, that you've also been developing?
Yeah, so the emergency response team is basically another term for a SWAT team. We do have dedicated officers that have been to SWAT school. They do training once a month. What it is, it's a great tool for the county to have, because in case of an active shooter, for example, most of our ERT members are on duty at one time. Okay. So for example, we might have 2 officers that have their equipment in their vehicle. And if we do have to respond to an active shooter situation, okay, or a shooting, those members are trained. Okay. So they're always available here in the county. And other agencies in our county are part of the ERT team. Now, we also have state and federal resources, which is very important for the citizens to know. We will respond quick. We're trained. Our job is to try to, definitely, if there's an active shooter, is stop the threat. That's what we want to do, hopefully in a good outcome. But then we can contain the situation, and we can contact the state police SWAT team to come out. The federal government, I mean, they got teams also. So we have a lot of resources, but it's good to have something in the county that we could respond to quickly. The main thing is time, especially with an active shooter, is time. We're all going to go, patrolmen too, that are not trained, SWAT members, we're all still going to go and do our job. But it's nice to have that extra, training to help in that type of situation. And also within search warrants, we're very active on search warrants on these illegal drug houses here in town and other places in the county. So we have a ERT team that specializes in conducting search warrants. Now, if we do have a house that we know that there's several weapons, several felons inside the locations, we will go ahead and when we do our operations plan, we might say, hey, listen, we need help from the state police. Now we'll call the state police. If that fits in their guidelines, they'll come out and help us too.
Wow. So many great things going on. You guys have been developing that, and got about a minute left, Chief Wheeler. Anything else that you'd like to highlight?
I do. I just want the citizens to know to keep calling. I mean, you guys have been wonderful in helping the city. We had that downtown Taylorville. I see new people, new faces. I see people coming in from all over the area. We're bringing in residents. We're bringing in businesses. We want them to come in, and when they tour the city, I want them to see beauty. And that's our job, is to clean it up. And we have been doing that, but we do need the citizens' help.
All right. Thank you so much for coming in, Chief Wheeler, and taking time out of your day to come on this hometown tour. It's great to have you here.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. You're listening to the Taylorville Hometown Tour. I'm Avery Cooper. Your stream co-sponsored by Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark and People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first.
The Big 870 WTIM Assumption Taylorville, 96.